So I'm here on South Cross Lane, and I'm talking to the residents from South Cross Lane, Porters Lane and Mary Street, and we're here because the residents from the area have formed a group and they want to talk about a proposed development on Porters Lane. Dervled, isn't it? Darnell, sorry, I beg your pardon. Can you give me your name, Darnell?
Darnell Kennefic.
Okay, and you're living here, Darnell?
I live in South Cross Lane,
okay.
yes.
What's the story? What's going on here?
What's the story is there's a development planned by the Cork County Council across the road from my house, which I feel is totally too big for the area, totally not in keeping with the surrounding area. So my issue really is that, you know, it's just not practical scale-wise.
It's a huge development.
Yes.
In this particular historic area of yours.
Yes, exactly,
right.
And it's just not suitable.
And you're from the area, of course, because you're a Goggin.
Yes,
okay.
From originally Water Street, then the Mall, then Friar Street, and now South Cross Lane. So I moved around in a circle. So I've lived here my whole life.
Well. But you plans of the development, and it's totally out of character.
It is completely.
It's not only out of character for the area, but for the section of the town.
Exactly. Yeah. So not happy with it at all. Really.
Jean?
Not against development whatsoever,
course,
but just against the scale and size of it.
It's off the scale.
Yeah.
Okay. Jean, can you give me your full name, please?
Jean Gardner.
Jean, you have an interest in archaeology? You're an archaeologist?
I studied archaeology at UCC.
Can you tell me about what you pointed out here about the cobblestone lane leading down to Porters Lane?
Yeah, there's...
is that Mary? No, that's not Mary Street. It's just leading down to Porters Lane.
Leading one onto the other.
Yeah, I'm from town. I didn't notice that, but it must be a very old lane to have all those cobblestones.
Yeah, it is. There's medieval cobblestones on the ground outside the potential site for the build. And
are the developers and the architects aware of that?
They are very much aware of it, yeah. That was included in everything we put to them in our objections. Also, I can't see that it will be easy to bring construction vehicles into the area because we live on the lane down there and you can barely get a car up there. So I would also be concerned about this wall, because if the foundation is interfered with, we don't know, it could only be shale underneath.
And we're on South Cross Lane,
South
here,
Cross
the wall
yeah.
South Cross Lane. Yeah.
But the proposed building is totally inappropriate for an area like this, because this is a quiet residential area, and I know there's a big demand for housing. We've just sorted out our own housing, and I know I've been through it myself. And this potential development is not suitable for this site, I think, because of accessibility and just in general.
Well, the street here, as you know, Porters Lane, Mary Street, they're the narrowest streets in the town.
Yeah.
And even on South Cross Lane,
and there's no
people
access.
use it as a rat run, and it's overused anyway.
There's
at the
no
moment.
access.
And with the amount of cars. So you're saying that if there's a development here with more cars and everything, it's not
we actually pay the council to park our car at a yearly permit, and I could count on one hand the amount of times I've gotten a space down on Friar Street.
Thanks very much. Jean, beside you here is Pierce. Pierce, can you tell me your name, please?
Pierce McLennan.
What do you do, Pierce?
I work for the HSE. At the moment I work on a project where I'm heavily involved in a national procurement for an IVF software system, so I'm very familiar with the whole procurement e-tender system.
When the news came to the residents here, when did that happen? Was it last summer?
The planning notice was put up around June, and we had 6 weeks to lodge. You can't do an objection on a Part 8, you can only do an observation. So 10 of the local residents who live directly in the area made their observations around parking, around privacy, around lighting, around general the whole disruption to the area, in the sense of this site. Now, I've spoken to builders who were interested in this site back in the boom when the banks were throwing money at people, and they said it wouldn't be commercially viable because by the time you get all the materials in here, you'd have to block off the roads, you'd have to put in cranes to put stuff in. It wouldn't pay them. So if a private developer had this site and he built 6 apartments, he couldn't sell those apartments and make money because of the cost of building them. But because it's taxpayers' money, someone is going to go on e-tenders, they're going to bid for the contract. Some developer will get the contract, and the council will pay that developer for the contract. Now, going back to the cobblestone lane, lifting, mapping, marking and relaying all the cobbles, I would estimate about 100,000. To underpin this, where we're standing here.
Again, in South Cross
Yeah,
Lane.
in South Cross Lane. So you've got a wall and a street here that's been here forever. And the plan is to dig down into the site to make the site viable for the construction. When they do that, and this is according to their own plans, this will destabilise this part. So they've put 350,000 of an estimate in to underpin a wall that there's nothing wrong with, or a road that there's nothing wrong with. The road is here, the wall is here, you're standing here. But they're going to destabilise it, so they're going to put in 350,000, or that's the plan, to underpin that, if everything goes okay. Now, the estimates for the build of the actual 6 units is 2.7 million. Now, according to an RTE survey that I was reading, or that was part of the Brendan O'Connor show last week, the cost of building materials and the cost of building in general in the last 12 months has increased by 30%. So you take your 2.7 million, add your 30%, it's 3.5 million for 6 one-bedroom units.
Okay, but you're on about the finances first, but you have no objections as such as well with the cobblestones because they're so important of the heritage of the town. Whereas the size of the development, is that the problem?
Well, yes, and like with the cobblestones, like I mean, we're constantly hearing about promoting the town. We're constantly hearing about, Youghal should be the best tourist town in Ireland. My grandfather's house, my grandparents' house, was, you can see it from here actually.
Who were your grandparents, sorry, then?
Jack Heffernan. So they're number 2 Friar Street. My mother was born in the Coast Guard Station in 1931. My grandfather was the matron above in the St. Raphael's since the 1920s. So my family have been here for over 100 years. When I was a child, I used to play around these lanes because we were constantly down here. So I practically, even though I grew up in Castlemartyr, I practically grew up here. My mother came from a family of 10, so...
And that's why you decided to
we downsized, yes, we downsized
yeah.
Because I love Youghal. I've always loved Youghal. I've always loved this part of Youghal. We downsized. We had a 3-bedroom house in Carrigal, or a 3-storey house in Carrigal, or in Passage West, and we decided we were going to come back here. This was our place to settle. And we bought this house. We invested in the house, we invested in the area. If you take from the Devonshire Arms down as far as the Regal Cinema, there's no dereliction, because we took what was a vacant house and put a bunch of money into it and made it a family home. If you take where the Brosnan's office was, that has been developed into a family home. Horgan's Cinema, that used to be, is being developed into a family home. So this is a model for what could be done with the dereliction in the town. And there are, to be fair to the council, there are grants there for derelict properties, for vacant properties. So there are good things the council are doing.
So you've no objection to development of the town whatsoever.
Absolutely
It's just
not.
the scale
Absolutely
of it,
not.
and for put that kind of money, millions, into the dereliction, and you put them, convert them for people to live in them.
Exactly.
Like the time when I was growing up here in the 60s and 70s, when everyone was living
Yes.
over the shop fronts and the businesses in town.
Exactly.
And that's where you would think that's what should happen.
Exactly. And
Right.
if you take this...
Because people are going to say, right, listen to this, they're going to say the country is crying out for accommodation, the council coming along here and they're putting, 6 houses. People are going to say that, but you're not objecting to that, it's the size.
No, if you take the finances involved, like the estimated finances involved, right? And I know because I work for the HSE and you have the Children's Hospital debacle and the whole thing, right? But if you took, we'll say, just rounding it off, 4 million. If you put that 4 million into the derelict properties, you're within walking distance of schools. You have a very good public transport system here because you have the 40 bus and the 260 bus, so you have buses more than every hour through the town. So if you took that 4 million and you invested it
on the South Main Street in particular, right?
Yes.
So what you're saying, really, would I be correct in saying that the Cork County Council have taken their eye off the ball? That's where it should be, putting the money into and the development there. And this here as a biodiversity park, which it is by looking at it, it's just pure greenery. That's going to be turned into concrete.
Yeah, and that should be a garden. It should be allotments. It should, and interestingly enough, because I applied to it, I applied to attend the council meetings. So, two of the things that came up at the last municipal district meeting here in the town hall was that they were looking for areas in the town for allotments and community gardens. This is perfect. It's got an older, no offence to anyone, but it's got an older population here. It's very peaceful. You can hear the birds singing here, right? Put a community garden in there. Take your 4 million, invest it in the South Main Street. Your kids can walk to school from the South Main Street. There's 3 schools within walking distance. There's bus stops. There's all sorts of facilities in the town. You're 2 minutes from the harbour.
Have you got in contact with biodiversity people? We just say like the blue and green people. And have you been in contact with local councillors as well?
We have
and
been
are
in
they
contact.
aware of the residents' concerns?
Absolutely. And 3 of the local councillors actually supported our campaign. So they supported us and they voted against this in the municipal district. Now, if you want me to name the councillors.
Please do, yeah. Who are they?
Okay, so Mary Lennon Foley voted against this development and put in a submission herself. Michael Hagerty from Garryvoe, who took the time to walk up around and do what we are doing now and have a look at the site. And Anne-Marie Ahern from Middleton took the time to come up and come up here, check out the site, have a look at it, go through all the plans and discuss it, right? If you want me to name the people that didn't vote for it, I can name them.
We'll just go with what we got there for the moment, because so we had to mind the traffic. Of course, we're in South Cross Lane, lads, and this is a lane. It was never used for traffic. It was never made for traffic, and there's cars just passing here at the moment. So you're concerned as well with traffic. There'll be more traffic. Never mind if the building is development here. Back to Jean again.
The biodiversity there as well. There's little pygmy shrews there. There's birds. There's snails. There's butterflies. Their nature is a huge factor in my life, and that will all be gone.
Just looking over your shoulders at it now, it's the only bit of greenery here in this section of town, as you're looking over the wonderful rooftops of the whole town leading onto the harbour.
And to me, it's a patch.
So not only will it be turned into a concrete jungle, for want of another word, but it's going to be so high you won't be able to see that beautiful panorama of the skyline. Would that be correct, Riley? Is that a concern of yours?
It certainly is.
Riley, can you give me your name there, please?
Riley Cully.
And you're living in the area.
I chose to live here for 30 years.
And you're living in a very famous building that people would know.
I am.
Can we give the name of the building?
Goughan Barra.
That was by the Goggins, wasn't it?
It was Goggins,
It was Goggins, isn't it, as well there? What's your concern?
Well, it's been said all that's been said before. I'm totally with it. But also that I am looking at the greenery. I don't have anywhere to grow anything but a couple of bulbs. And I would love to see a green area here. And also the laneway here, the cobblestone, the oldest coupled area in Youghal. Okay, they say that they will develop that, but at what cost? But that is one thing. I would love to see that used for the town as a green space rather than concrete. And the other concern I have, as with Jean and others, parking. We pay for the parking and we can go round and round and round and not find any parking. They say that people here wouldn't have cars, but how would they get anywhere? Who's going to see that they don't ever own any cars? There's going to be more traffic, and it's
not fair on the residents.
It's not fair.
What would you say to the Cork County Council?
I would ask them to revisit what they have proposed and just take another look and really listen to the people in the area, because I feel they haven't listened to our
No.
submissions. We put forward our submissions within our 6
Have
weeks.
they replied to you? I mean,
We have got an
one
official
letter.
letter, letter
line,
just to say that it has been passed.
And when was it passed?
It was passed about 2 weeks ago. I think there was a meeting on Monday, the 13th of April, if I can remember correctly.
Okay, so only about a week or two ago?
Yeah. So I just would really plead with them to take another look at it, come down in person, look at the area. You can't get that from a piece of paper. You have to, as you here said there, we had 3 of the councillors come and look at the area, and all objected to it. So it's just, I would just plead with them to revisit it, relook at it, and take the people's issues really, on board.
Okay, and where do you go from here, Piers?
Well, we're going to continue the publicity campaign. We're hoping that
You were in the Irish Independent yesterday.
the Irish Independent did a big piece on it yesterday. The journalist from the Irish Independent, to be fair to him, Kevin Galvin, he came and he walked around the town with me. He was shocked at the dereliction around it, because he's from Cork City and he used to come down there as a child, and he mentioned the fact that, like, probably the town is famous for the clock gate. So you're right on the doorstep of the clock gate. You have 7 derelict buildings, and I spoke to one of the lads involved in the tours of the clock gate since, and he said it's like he takes tours of, obviously, tourists up the clock gate. You go up to the top of it, which myself and Jean did last year for the culture night, and he said you're up there with American tourists, European tourists, British tourists, whatever, and you're looking at the panoramic view around the town from the top of the clock gate, and the first thing you see is derelict buildings, roofs collapsing around you. It's shameful. It's absolutely shameful that a town with such history. I actually asked him at the end
of course, there's people, and I've kind of been tepidly involved with it as well, of people in town where they're taking use of vacant buildings and they're turning them into successful museums, like the Youghal Film and
100%,
Photography Museum
100%.
and the Youghal Lace Museum,
100%.
Kathleen May, and the soon-to-be Pioneer Women of Youghal Museum. So you're saying, like, put money there and put the people, do up the residents over those shops, and it would house a lot more than 6 people.
And going back to the point that there are very good government schemes administered by the councils where you can take one of these derelict properties and the government will give you 70,000 towards developing it. So, like, there you go, someone is going to buy it, someone's going to invest in it, the council will give you 50 or 70,000, invest the money in that and regenerate all the dereliction in the town. I took that journalist along Emmett Place over by St Mary's and around, and he said, I've never been this side of town. Like, this should be the tourist capital of Ireland. And, like, this thing that they're talking about putting in here isn't going to solve anything.
No.
It's not going to help the town in any way. It's not going to be attractive for the town in any way. It's not going to draw any business into the town in any way. It's just, it goes against the whole ethos of a medieval town.
Well, thanks very much, lads, and thanks to all the residents from Porters Lane, Mary Street and South Cross Lane here. And just on a personal note, of course I'm from up in the hill, but I do know the area, and looking down at it is such a lovely oasis of greenery here. And I know it well because we used to come down nearby here, Hayman's Hill, and up above at the top, for the listeners, there used to be Ninny Grady, who used to teach us in the where the CRY studios are now in the Youghal House. So that's where we would go. But we'd transverse down at the Hayman's Hill and run home then at dinner time for our grub, and back down again, and then up the street. But going up the street, Friar Street, South Main Street, North Main Street, all the people going to school at that time lived above all those premises. They were the shopkeepers, and they are the pubs or just private residents, but they all lived above the houses, and the streets used to be flooded with children. And back, I suppose in my parents' time, going on to Friar Street, there was 600 people went into one cinema, 400 people into another cinema. There was 1,000 people, footfall, no cars, walking down those streets, going to the cinema. Back in the halcyon days of the highlight of the cinema years, and Mikey Roach told me that himself. 1,000 people just in nearby Friar Street, and all those children coming from the schools, and like myself and all that. So the great memories of that, and that's where you're coming from, really. You would like to see it reverse back to that. You think the council have taken their eye off the ball, put that money into Friar Street, South Main Street, North Main Street, develop this as an oasis. You're not objecting to anyone for accommodation. You want to see the money put on the street and develop that as allotments or a biodiversity park. Absolutely. Would that be correct? Okay.
Can I just say something, please? We didn't, neither of us or any of us didn't mention the effect on our mental health that it's having here, and that the whole prospect of it, we're losing sleep because of it. And because our biggest fear of all is having antisocial behaviour in a very quiet residential area. So I just felt the need to say that, because personally it's very important for me personally.
Darnell, you said that, by the way, as well, that what was when you saw the plans, you were in shock, you said?
Initially, when the planning permission went up last June of 25, and we were able to go to the town hall and view the plans, the first day I went in there, I went out into the glass ceramic area with one of the ladies in the office, and she opened up the plans, and I actually nearly had a panic attack when I saw the height, the scale. I said, oh my God, that is just so out of character completely for where we live. And it has had an effect on me for the last 12 months. Thinking about, and we have to bring it up, about antisocial behaviour, if that,
as well, lovely areas have been ruined because of it.
And it's very distressing, a lot of sleepless nights, a lot of stress involved.
Well, best of luck on while you're doing a publicity campaign anyway at the moment, and obviously you're going to lobby your other councillors, and you're not going to...
We actually have done that, haven't we? We wrote to all 56 councillors in the county of Cork.
How many?
56. We emailed 56. We sent them an email.
So you've done all that?
We did that before the 13th, before they gave it the green light. We called out to them and sent them an email with our concerns for the
we now have residents of the town from different areas of the town, right? And they're coming up here now, right? They're walking along here because they want to see, because just from us, I didn't even know Darnell when this started, right? We just
approached each other one day.
We became a group because of this. But we now have residents of the town from the other end of the town and from up the hill and from along the Golf Links Road and everything. And they're taking their walks up here now because they're kind of going, we need to see this, we need to see. Because
just to finish up, lads, the view is the rooftops of the town. I can see the town hall, as I call Mal Arts Centre now, the Ferry Point, the iconic, we could call it now, the little yellow bungalow there, Mona Tray across the water, all the panoramic view of West Waterford and the river. It's fantastic, and that's going to be, of course, all the street. That's going to be covered up with the height and scale of this. Well, listen, thanks very much. Best of luck in your campaign. And you with people you see more in this publicity, and that you're going to the next level like that, because you're not happy. I can tell that, you want to bring it to another level.
It's very, very serious for us.
Okay, well, listen, thanks very much.
Thank you very much.
Thanks very much for your time.